Hello all and welcome back to the Remote Control. I'm Robert Slavinsky, and with me today are Rachel and Brian.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's going on?
The music that you heard to open the show is called Task Force X. It's from the upcoming Suicide Squad soundtrack. It's composed by Stephen Price, who's also known for composing music for movies like Fury, Gravity, which won an Academy Award for Best Original Score, and also the movie The World's End. So you can pick up the Suicide soundtrack on August 5th. It sounds pretty badass if you ask me, so definitely looking forward to that. But we're going to jump into things here today, where you got a lot to go over about some TV, some movie stuff, and then we're going to kind of just talk about the winners and losers of last week's Comic-Con. So, let's get into it.
Engage.
The legend... Wait for it.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Oh my god! She killed Kitty! You bastard!
Dairy! Legendary!
In TV, we have Supergirl. I know a lot of people aren't really excited for this Season 2. Season 1 wasn't that big of a hit, but it has moved over to the CW. With that, they did announce that they will be adding Superman to the show, played by Tyler Hoechlin, I can't say his name. And they released a picture today of him in his Superman attire. I don't know. I don't think it's that great looking. I don't
think that Superman's very good looking at all.
Yeah, it's not. It's not his costume. Like his suit's cool looking.
I think it's his face. He's got a generic face.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. It's just I'm not feeling it. I'm not. But I like his suit. I'm not feeling his face. The guy playing it, maybe. I don't know. With Supergirl and the CW, obviously CW is known in their universe to have crossover episodes. Last year they had a crossover episode to jumpstart the Legends of Tomorrow series. This year it looks like they're going to have a crossover, 4 episodes of crossover event that is going to be focused on Supergirl. And Mark Guggenheim, the executive producer, says it's an external threat from outside the shows that will involve Supergirl coming over to The Flash, then Arrow, then Legends of Tomorrow. So, definitely if you're a fan of those crossover episodes, this is going to be the biggest one yet, and it may finally explain how we're going to get Supergirl within all of these, or within this universe here, because, again, for those who didn't really pay attention last year, Supergirl is technically on a different Earth, I guess like Earth 3 or Earth 4, something like that. So, as we stand right now, it's almost impossible for her to be in the universe. So the idea that they're going to probably find a way to bring her over is kind of nice, so we can have more crossovers.
I think it's stupid that they separated Supergirl from the rest of the superheroes.
Well, the problem was Supergirl was on CBS, so they didn't think that they were going to be able to do any crossover episodes. I guess that's probably why they did that. I don't know. The Flash, they were luckily able to do something with the Flash because he's able to jump into the Speed Force and it can take him to different Earths and different times and blah blah blah. So that's how they did the crossover last year with Flash and Supergirl. But now I think they're going to try, since Supergirl's coming to the CW, they're going to combine the two, or all 4 shows in some way.
Should be interesting.
I
I think it's a good thing. I don't know. I can't think of anything bad to say about it, really.
Well, my thing is, it's all fiction. They can just do whatever they want. Fans aren't really gonna mind too much. They just want to see their favorite characters all in one spot.
Yeah, how much could you possibly write for Supergirl and all the other characters to fit it within this television world? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is people just want to make sure it works.
Flows.
Yeah, it flows, yeah. They don't want it to all of a sudden, like, oh, Supergirl's here, with no explanation. People like...
Well, then they can build a backstory later on of how she got there.
A portal open up and she goes through it. Oh, I don't know how.
That's probably what they're going to do.
She's in there. You know what I mean?
She's Supergirl.
Again, it's a freaking tornado and, she's following the Yellow Brick Road now.
The big thing going on, though, with Flash is the whole Flashpoint storyline. Which is where Flash goes back in time and changes history, and everything has changed from that point on within the universe.
That's cool.
So there's a chance that story will connect Supergirl to the rest of the universe. Who knows? I mean, we still don't know. I trust the team there. They've done a hell of a job with Flash already. Arrow's been up and down, and Legends of Tomorrow, while the first season wasn't great, it was still a strong first season, and the second season looks to be even better. So I trust them. I think they know what they're doing there. Keeping with CW real quick, and The Flash. I know, I'm talking about The Flash again.
I think it's like 4 episodes in a row.
Hey, it'll probably be every episode in a row.
Oh, God.
But Grant Gustin, who plays The Flash, was asked if he ever had an idea, or if he has an idea of any other directors that he would like to work with on the show. And he quickly mentioned, yeah, I just met Joss Whedon the other day, and he thinks that he would be great, to direct The Flash. While I personally agree with that, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, because I believe he's still attached to Marvel Properties as producer, and that might be kind of weird. Not impossible, but a bit strange.
I know this is off subject, but he should definitely do like a Firefly spinoff.
Josh Whedon?
Yeah.
Fans would love that.
Oh, yeah.
I was never big into Firefly. Tried to watch it, couldn't get into it, but...
Dude, Firefly is the stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a few episodes. I liked it.
Then you have the movie Serenity. That was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't really see that. But I wasn't big in Firefly, so...
For all the Firefly fans out there, you know what I'm talking about.
Hashtag bring back Firefly right now.
There you
Twitter.
go. Bango, right there.
Just start tagging them all.
Tagging them all.
Hashtag Firefly is the best.
Let's see. Gotham. We have our first official look at Valerie Vale from Season 3. No, not Vicky Vale. Valerie Vale. And she's being played by Jamie Chung. Nothing too spectacular there. I kind of think Gotham is a little bit on the strange end of comic book TV shows. I'm still not completely sold on it. I think at the end of Season 1, spoilers if you didn't watch any of it, at end of Season 1 they killed off a character called Fish Mooney. I think that was the best thing they could have done. But spoilers, they bring her back in Season 2, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to continue watching the show. Cause...
I hate that about shows. Like, they kill somebody off and then they bring them back. Like, I love Marvel, but I'm getting sick of their shit. I'm serious.
Who they killed off that they brought back?
Phil!
Oh.
Like, they killed Phil and then they brought him back. It's like, and they did it with a few characters. You thought Loki was dead, and then they bring him back. It's like, come on.
These are the
like,
days of our lives.
Petro's the only one that died. Petro's the only one that died and didn't come back. We're all just sitting there like, okay, any day now, Marvel, we get it. You can pull our heartstrings. We get it.
Yeah, they just don't have the balls to kill somebody. That's just my opinion.
Well, they killed Petro. Do you think Petro's going to come back?
No, but he wasn't really an interesting character. He was there for 5 minutes and then I'm like, oh, we'll kill him. So,
I kind of like Pedro.
Either of you guys watch Preacher? I haven't watched it at all.
Mm-mm.
No?
I have no idea what this is.
I don't even know what it is.
It's a show on AMC. It's actually a DC comic property. I don't know much about it, but the season finale is Sunday, and I know a lot of people are all excited about it. I guess the first season's done really well. It was adapted to the small screen by Seth Rogen and his group of friends, so I don't know. I was hoping one of you guys watched it, maybe. I haven't, so...
No, I don't really watch too much TV anymore. I don't have time. I try and keep up on everything else.
Now, with all the excitement last weekend of the Netflix shows for Luke Cage, what else? Iron Fist and The Defenders, came this week with some unfortunate news for Netflix Marvel series. It seems like we are not going to see a new Daredevil season, a new Jessica Jones, or the Punisher series until the earliest of 2018. I guess
That's sad.
Yeah. I guess
I want another Jessica Jones.
With all the money and production focusing on Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and the Defenders, I guess it kind of makes sense that they push those back. But why can't
Take the loan out, motherfuckers?
Why can't they do more than 3 shows at a time? Like, it doesn't make sense.
I think it depends on the studio. Like, if they're actually just using, like, one studio, like Game of Thrones, they use, I think, 2 or 3 studios, and then they kind of split the studios and make 2 different sets within the studios. So that could be it. It could just be studio room. You know?
It's possible. Definitely possible. I don't know. I just think that it would be beneficial to get at least a second season of Jessica Jones out there.
Yeah.
We already have had 2 of Daredevil, so I wouldn't mind that waiting. But at least another Jessica Jones would be nice. I know that, what's her face? Who plays Jessica Jones? Why can't I think of her name right now?
Name?
But she has said that she's going to be filming The Defenders and Jessica Jones season 2 back to back.
Oh, nice.
So
they're going to put
Ritter?
Jessica Jones.
Kristen Ritter, thank you. Yes, Kristen Ritter.
So they're going to be putting Jessica Jones in the Defenders.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, well, all of basically the 4 big ones on Netflix: Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Daredevil, and Jessica Jones are the Defenders. So,
Kristen Ritter looks like she would be insane in real life.
probably.
Like, just like one of them nutty bitches that just like...
If you ever saw her character from Breaking Bad, like, I always thought that is how she would be in real life. But I don't know.
I think she would be more like Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23.
That show actually wasn't too bad. You actually watch that?
I like that show. Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
I don't know.
All right. Now, some big news this week that got a lot of 80s and 90s kids excited was the rebranding of VH1 Classic to MTV Classic, which will be dedicated to 90s and early 2000s programming.
Thank God.
Can we get some BuzzFeed in there or whatever it is? Buzzkill? Dude, that show was the best. It was like the first like prank show that like took it onto the real life, like on the streets and stuff.
Starting on
Jackass
August,
definitely stole that show's mojo.
Probably. It's not surprising. But didn't Jackass kind of steal from CKY? Isn't that kind of what they went from? Didn't that branch off of CKY?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess there was an assorted bunch of programs that are like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, CKY I think was like one of the first, and then they switched over to Jackass because it was CKY I believe was like Bam Margera, and I can't remember
a bunch
Johnny
of skateboarders.
Knoxville. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a bunch of skateboarders and they were just doing skateboard videos and doing stupid shit. But with this rebranding, it actually starts on August 1st. And I think the coolest thing that they're doing with it is on August 1st, that marks the 35-year anniversary of when MTV debuted. Their first hour will basically mimic the first hour of MTV ever. I think that's kind of a cool idea, kind of brilliant. If you do not have the channel MTV Classic, they will actually be streaming that first hour on social media, which is kind of cool. So you'll be able to see that first hour. After that first hour, it's going to be followed by shows like TRL, MTV Unplugged, Beavis and Butthead, and a lot more. So definitely keep your eyes open for that. I know I'm excited because I grew up with it. I grew up with all that stuff. So
Buzzkill was in 96 and CKY was in 98.
Well, there you go.
Wow. Interesting.
All right, that's about it for TV. Anybody else got anything for TV? Anything?
I don't.
Yeah.
Nah, nope.
So on to movies we go.
Punch it! What's in the bar?
Why so serious?
Get to the chopper! Feel the need for speed.
Jumping to the movie version of The Flash, they have announced, and it was actually, I think, Monday or Tuesday after San Diego Comic-Con, they cast the Iris West for the film. Kiersey Clemens. She most recently was in the movie Neighbors 2. Don't really know much about her, but she has been cast as Iris West. That's about all there. Now, speaking of The Flash, real quick here, spoilers. If you don't want to know anything going on in the DC Expanded Universe, just stop listening for the next 30 seconds.
Or longer.
La 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 la, I can't hear you.
Ezra Miller is reportedly in Suicide Squad as the Flash. So Suicide Squad comes out this coming Friday. Or not this coming Friday. Well, we're recording Thursday into Friday. So next Friday, Suicide Squad comes out. He is reportedly going to be in Suicide Squad. So that's kind of exciting because now we're going to get more than just Batman in there. I'm excited.
Interesting.
That
plays out.
I have like this feeling that we're gonna get some kind of dark theory out of Suicide Squad. Like it's the superheroes' fault that there's like villains in this world or something.
Can I ask a question? Like with the DC movies, do they do like what Marvel does and have like the post-credit scenes?
Let's see. They did not do that with Batman vs Superman, and the reason for it is because Zack Snyder, who makes the film, said, you know what, that's Marvel's thing. He was like, I don't want to take Marvel's thing. I don't want to do what Marvel's doing. So, at this point, no, they don't. However, I don't know what they're going to do at the end of Suicide Squad, or what they're going to do at the end of Justice League, or Wonder Woman. Nobody really knows.
Yeah, because I think, like, at the end of Suicide Squad, that would be awesome, just so you could see what's coming up next. Especially, it doesn't have to be, like, you know how Marvel gives you one cut scene, and then it's actually for another movie?
Yeah.
I think they should do, like, something that's still going to relate to, like, a Suicide Squad 2 or something like that, if they are going that way.
Yeah, I don't see why they shouldn't or wouldn't do that, but again, I think they want to kind of distance themselves from Marvel and do their own thing, because people are already starting to like, oh look, they're making a universe just like Marvel. Well,
yeah.
Technically, they have had a universe in comics since the 30s, you know, and so
yeah, pretty much
Marvel. I mean, it's not like they're copying, it just,
right,
you know, it is what it is.
Like, you can't have a universe of your own, like, oh my god, Star Wars has a universe too, they're copycats.
Yeah.
Star Trek is copying off of Star Wars.
If you really want to talk about universes in movies, you know who they're all copying? Kevin Smith. I mean, come on, he had the Skew universe for years before Marvel and DC did anything. Just saying.
You're all about Kevin Smith.
Of course he is.
Let's see. We have Mary Poppins news. Anybody excited about that Mary Poppins sequel?
Not really.
What the hell is this?
I didn't even like Mary Poppins when
There
I was
is a sequel to the 1964 film, and Meryl Streep has just been cast in it.
Jesus Christ.
We already know that Emily Blunt will be playing Mary
Meryl
Poppins.
Streep broke or something?
I don't understand why they have to make a sequel to a film from 1964.
It's like, come on.
right, just reboot it.
Stop touching these classic films.
Why do anything at all? It's a classic.
So, it doesn't matter to me.
It's like, write some new material already. Come on.
Yeah, okay.
Jump into some Marvel news here. Michael Keaton, who was recently confirmed to be cast in Spider-Man Homecoming, was asked about it, and he goes, it's extraordinary. He goes, you're talking to a guy who basically knows nothing about the lore of that world. Not really. I think it's going to be cool, and I'm really looking forward to it. Tom Holland is a wonderful actor, and I've got to say, from early conversations I've had with Marvel, they're really serious about how they approach their stuff. Right now, it's kind of rumored that Michael Keaton's going to be playing the Vulture, the main villain of the movie. Either way, I'm kind of excited to see Michael Keaton in another movie because I really like him as an actor.
Yeah.
I think it's also kind of neat because he played Batman back in 1989, and that's why I think his movie Birdman works so well, because he played Batman. I don't think that it would have worked if they had anybody else play that in that movie. I know, Brian, you saw Birdman, right?
Yeah, I have a theory about that movie. Like, the whole movie is really based on the stars' own lives, and Birdman is really supposed to be Batman. Because if you pay attention to what they're saying in the movie, like even Michael Keaton, he's talking about his life in the film, right? Mm-hmm. and he had that one big role, which was Birdman, and it defined him. And his career has been shit ever since, right? He's basically criticizing himself. And then you have what's her name? Emma Stone?
Yes.
And she says, I've been to rehab, when Norton's on the roof with her, right?
Yeah.
And, she's been to rehab. So they're really hashing out real things in their lives, and they're turning it into fiction.
Yeah. I could definitely see that. Again, it was a great film, and I just think it's cool that we see Michael Keaton go from hero to villain now. I think that'll be really, really interesting to see.
Yeah, I like Michael Keaton as an actor.
It's unconfirmed that he's playing the villain, but I think everybody's kind of under the impression that he's going to be playing the villain. So, one more thing about Michael Keaton. He was asked a couple days ago about the Beetlejuice sequel that has been rumored for years.
Yeah,
and
years.
He kind of believes that it's past its time. He doesn't believe it's going to happen. So
I agree with him.
I think
just leave Beetlejuice alone already.
Yeah, I think it's time to just leave it alone. Yeah.
Everybody loves Beetlejuice, and they're gonna make a sequel. And everybody's like, you know what? I hate Beetlejuice.
Yeah. Well, either they're gonna leave it alone or they're gonna reboot it with a woman playing Beetlejuice.
I mean, if they reboot it,
you know it.
I know if they reboot it, like a lot of kids that grew up in the '90s and stuff will probably give it a shot. I mean, a lot of people loved the new Ghostbusters, and look at Pokemon Go. It's another '90s thing. Like they're trying to bring back the '90s and stuff like that, and it's doing very well.
Beetlejuice goes to Calcutta.
Beetlejuice was '80s, though, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was the '80s.
Something like that. '80s, '90s. It's somewhere out there. I mean, but when I grew up in the '90s, I watched a lot of '80s movies, so it's still part of my childhood.
Yeah, I know.
So, we'll see.
Well, again, you're right. Who knows? I think it depends on how well Ghostbusters does, honestly, because it's not the same movie, but it's the same type of comedy that the original Ghostbusters kind of was, so if this new Ghostbusters does well, we may actually see a reboot of Beetlejuice, unfortunately, and most likely with a woman. So,
is it still playing in theaters?
What, Ghostbusters?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Just
I need to go see it. I need to go see it.
Okay.
Like, bad.
Okay. Well, this week, Jason Bourne comes out, which I'm going to see. So I'll have a little...
It's like the only person... She's the only person I've ever heard say that they have to go see the new Ghostbusters.
Well, here's why. One of my favorite actors is in it.
Which one is that?
Come on. You guys know this.
Don't.
Oh, Chris Hemsworth. Chris
Hemsworth.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right. Let's see some Star Wars news. Rogue One. Basically, I know a lot of people were under the impression that we may see Han Solo in Rogue One. Well, Gareth Edwards confirms he will not be. He basically goes, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to do this, but I think I should. Han Solo's not in the movie. So, plain and simple, he's not in the movie. Which is probably a better thing, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know why he would.
Yeah, exactly. It wouldn't make any sense. If you take a look at the storyline from A New Hope on, but prior to that, there was no indication.
Everything happened before he even came into the picture.
Yeah, so I think it's better that he's not there, honestly. Good thing.
But I mean, it might just be a whole new Star Wars universe. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know, but I'm still excited about the movie, so...
It's like after 7, I was just like, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing.
We're not going to get into that again.
Oh, we can. We can right now.
We can, and we will.
And we're not going
We'll have to save it for another time. But we definitely going to have some more Star Wars talk.
Now, the speculation also about Rogue One, there was a lot of speculation on how close to the beginning of A New Hope that Rogue One would end. There's been a lot of people saying that they heard, oh, it's going to end 10 minutes before A New Hope ends, or it's going to end right when the rebel ship is taking off and flying away. Well, Kathy Kennedy, head of Lucasfilms, basically had this to say: I love that it has been reduced to that precise amount. Talking about the 10 minutes. It definitely leads into A New Hope. That is very intentional. But it is completely new and separate set of characters, and it is a story that sits outside of anything anyone would necessarily know in A New Hope. What do you take from that, Brian? I know you're a big Star Wars fan like I am.
I just think they're trying to make it mysterious.
Like, don't you think, like, I personally would love to see, even if it's just like a shot from behind, like Princess Leia, like in some way seeing Princess Leia. I think that would be awesome, whether it's her being handed the data discs or the plans for the Death Star or something. Like, I think that would be a cool scene to have to almost end the movie. But to me, it sounds like we're not going to see that.
When she gave R2-D2 the plans, did she actually give him something?
Well, yeah, because remember they downloaded off of him when they're on Yavin 4.
Yeah, but then what did she do? Did she put in like a piece of hardware,
it was
or
like a
was
thumb
it
drive
already
or something,
programmed into him, or did
SD
she
card.
just film just a message real quick?
No,
You know what I mean?
she put something in there. She definitely put something in there. In R2.
I don't know, man. It's up for debate.
Where else would it be?
Well, it would be in him already. He would already
I
be
see what
carrying
you're
it.
saying. I see what you're saying now. So he could have been carrying
It's
it
just
already.
recording the message because, they ran into trouble.
True.
And she probably thought that she was going to meet whoever face to face, and she wouldn't even need that message.
Mm-hmm.
So, as the last resort, she filmed that little message, and she knew she wasn't getting Alderaan. So she sent it for Obi-Wan because she knew he was on Tatooine. That's my theory. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. And then lastly, there's been the rumor.
Here's what I think.
Go ahead. What do you think?
We'll see R2.
Okay.
If anything. And it might be like, is that R2? And then it'll be up for more debate. Oh, no, is this another R2 unit, And you'll have that kind of...
I don't think they'll do that. I think if they're going to show an R2 unit, it's going to be R2-D2. If it's one that looks like R2.
Because the movies are supposed to be told through the eyes of the droids.
Well, the Skywalker saga is. Not necessarily the offshoots, the standalones. We know the Skywalker stories are through the eyes of the droids. At least...
Well, if you look at Episode 1, it basically starts out with the droids. For the most part.
But again, that's the Skywalker saga. 1 through 6 or 1 through 7 now. The
Why
Skywalker saga.
wouldn't the premise carry on? Because it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Who would last that long of time but a droid? The droids are immortal.
You get a point.
I understand your point there, but again, George Lucas, when he was making Star Wars, he said, this story is told through the eyes of the droids. This is a standalone movie. Rogue One is a standalone movie that isn't a part of the Skywalker saga. Exactly, it's not directly connected to it. So, why would that also be told through the droids' eyes? I don't really.
Because they're the only ones that can remember.
I guess.
Which is why Episode 7 is so messed up, because BB-88 is the one telling the story.
BB-8, not 88.
Whatever.
Not IG. You kind of confused IG-88 and BB-8.
Yeah, whatever. Whatever. BB with your lighter being all cool and cute and everybody likes you. You're a bad storyteller.
Bad storyteller. Oh, man. Okay, anyway, the last...
We'll find out. I know Rogue One's going to be awesome, whatever the theory is.
the last big rumor that was going around about Rogue One was that Hayden Christensen was going to be in the movie. And Kathy Kennedy goes, no, that is not true. I can confirm that. He is not in Rogue One. So, all of you haters of Hayden Christensen, rest assured he is not in the movie. Okay.
Thank God.
I wouldn't have minded him being... I don't think he was that bad of an actor.
Maybe they should have just trained him to be a better actor. I don't know. Like, there was no, like, chemistry between him and,
Natalie Portman.
Yeah, it's just like,
True,
so
but
bad.
that's...
They should have made them hook up outside of, like, the shoot and, like, made them have, like, a relationship or something. Just so that there was some real chemistry there. Like, it just was like, I don't know. Unless there really wasn't chemistry and he was using his force to manipulate her.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why there wasn't chemistry.
That's not really what happened, though. I don't really know why they chose him. I don't... George Lucas is strange when he does his casting, so casting him was a bit strange. But, again, if you've seen him in a couple other movies that he was in, it wasn't his acting that was bad. I think it was the direction that was bad. They were making him just seem so lifeless and hollow. And that's what came across the screen.
He should have just been like, I don't know, whatever.
Nah, whatever. Yeah.
We're
not talking prequels here.
I just think they could have did so much better with 1, 2, and 3.
Agreed. At least 1 and 2. 3, I think, is still a really good movie. I think it's still really good.
I think they just worried too much about marketing toys and all that stuff. And they just, like, really, like, the movie took the back burner, right? And they're just worried about marketing the toys and all the gear and everything.
Yeah. I can see that. Alright.
That's what it seemed like to me. I don't know.
Moving on from Rogue One and Star Wars, because we could get stuck on that for hours.
Yeah, we'll be there for
hours.
Like a couple of idiots, Brian and I, while doing our SDCC coverage last week, completely forgot to mention Power Rangers, like idiots. So,
sorry.
We got some pictures of the Power Ranger helmets. We got some pictures of them in their suits last week. And then we got pictures of some of their stones. Now, their stones seem to be replacing the coins from the TV series, and each one being a different color, obviously blue, red, pink, yellow, black.
Yeah.
And inside the stones, you can it's very hard to see, but you can see like each dinosaur represented in the stone. Again, it's probably what they're going to be using for their morphing abilities that gives them their power. With that said, there's now a theory going around, since Rita Repulsa, the photos of her have been in a green outfit, and her little scepter that she has seems to have a green stone in it. Some people believe she's using the green stone for her powers. And the theories have gone so far as to say that she could very possibly have been, or is, the Green Ranger.
No, she made the Green Ranger.
No, yeah. I was gonna... Well, she didn't make the... Yeah, she did make the Green Ranger.
She did make the Green Ranger, yes.
Okay, so maybe she's just controlling the Green Ranger. She has him under, you know...
And then he turns good. And later on turns into the White Ranger.
Yes.
Do you think they're still going to have that chemistry between, like, the Green Ranger and the Pink Ranger, or you think they're just going to change it up completely?
I don't know. I mean, it's still so early in what we've...
Yeah, he's
I love the Power Rangers.
It's still early in the information that we have and what we've seen. It's kind of hard to tell what they're going to go with. Yeah. Although, I'm not totally against the idea of Rita utilizing the green stone for herself, and then maybe at some point finding out that she isn't capable of using it like it needs to be used, and then, you know, creating the Green Ranger off of it like that. I'm not too big on the idea that she is the Green Ranger. I know some of the theories have gone to say that she used to be the Green Ranger but turned bad and stuff like this, so...
I don't like that.
It's not that I don't like it, I just... Again, we want to see what we remember, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And if we don't get that...
I want to see Zed, man.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe in the
You
sequel.
know, it's like
Or
Yeah, I
at
hope
the
they make
end of
other
the
ones.
movie.
Or end of the movie. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
We'll
so,
see.
I mean, this. I think
you
this.
think she's still in the space dumpster?
I don't know.
Oh my.
So yeah, I don't know what we're going to see happen in the movie at all. And honestly, I don't want it to be exactly like I remember it. And obviously, we're not. It's not going to be. There's a lot of differences already. But I hope they kind of keep some of the stuff that was from, the original cartoon, or not cartoon, but original show, to just kind of like nod, little nod to the fans.
Yeah. Especially the ones that really grew up with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll see. I'm excited.
Yeah, this definitely is one of my more anticipated films, believe it or not.
I just want to know what monster she's going to summon to tear up whatever city they're in.
What was the two monsters she always had with her? Gordon, or no? What is his name?
Gorgon and what's the other one?
I don't know. I don't remember.
God, it's been so
And
long.
there was that boar that like created the monsters out of clay too, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. That guy.
But
too.
there was the flying monkey. There is Gordo or Gordon or whatever, Goldo or Goldon. I can't remember.
It's been so long.
People are going to yell at us, tweet us, yell at us in the comments. I don't care. Can't remember what it is. But yeah, they know what we're talking about. All right. Anything else for movies? Anybody have anything there?
I think, well, movie-wise, I mean, we haven't really even touched too much base on Marvel.
It's
Doctor
Goldar,
Strange.
Squat, Babu, Finster.
That's what it was.
That's who it is.
Okay.
Goldar.
Well,
You're giving me a headache.
Alright, that was a little random.
When it comes to
at the end of the show, she'd always have a headache.
when it comes to Marvel, I mean, we covered a lot of it last week with the Comic-Con stuff. There hasn't been any news on anything since then. So, I mean, Doctor Strange had its trailer and everything like that. That was exciting, but nothing else has been announced this week. So, yeah.
I don't know. I'm still excited about Doctor Strange. Can't help myself.
It looks good. This trailer made me a little more interested than I was from the first trailer.
Yeah, definitely.
But I don't know. I'm still not completely sold on it. No.
I'm sold.
Let's see. Jump into video games here. Last week or 2 weeks ago, we talked about how NES was coming out with a mini system. So it's coming out in October. People were really excited about it, blah, blah, blah. And then reports started coming out that Sega was doing the same thing with the original Genesis. However, that is false, people. That is false. This isn't something new that Genesis is doing. And actually, in my opinion, it's not anything or anywhere near as good as the NES Mini. It's a system there was a system already made by At Games for the Sega Genesis. It had 80 different games and such. You could use the original controllers as well as put the original cartridges in it. And that's some of the good stuff, but the biggest downfall is it has no HDMI support. It comes packaged with wireless controllers that uses like the red LED wireless contraption where you have to have the controller actually pointed at the system for it to work. And the sound card that comes with it is actually worse than the original Sega sound card. So the music sounds even worse than the 16-bit sounds were back in the late 80s.
But it's retro.
So, and again, the biggest downfall
Did you
is
get all these old games
HDMI.
on the newer systems already?
A lot of them you can, but you have to spend money on them. Like you have to spend like $5-10 a piece. This here, you're at least getting a whole bunch for one, and also you can't get all of them as
It
well.
doesn't have Road Rash on it. That was like the best game. Just beat each other with pipes and chains while you're going down the road on a motorcycle. Like, come on. What's happening
Cycle
here?
alert.
What's that?
I said Psycho Alert.
It's the best video game ever.
I don't
You
know.
don't know anything about Road Rash, do you? You just don't know.
I don't think I've ever played that.
I remember going over Brian's house when I was a kid and him playing it. I literally just walk in the house and he's sitting there playing the damn game. He had what was it, Sega Channel?
Yeah, Sega Channel was stuff back in the day.
That was like early online play for video games.
The other thing that I remember from like playing Sega was like Sonic games, Mortal Kombat. God, I can't think of anything else that we really had. We're poor, okay? We're poor. The Nintendo, I remember like all those games because I think I played the Nintendo more than the Sega when I was a kid. You know, because you had Contra and Super Mario.
Just remember, Sega does what Nintendo don't.
It's the best. Shush. My favorite game, I think, from my childhood was Paperboy. That game was so addicting.
Yeah, it was pretty addicting. I remember playing that when I was a kid too. It was ridiculous addicting.
The best.
Alright, so moving on to the hot topic of the night. We're going to talk about the winners and losers of Comic-Con. So, little overview here, obviously. This Comic-Con, we had a lot of news. Things like, Wonder Woman trailer, Justice League trailer, the announcement of who's going to play Captain Marvel. We had a new Sonic the Hedgehog game announced. What else is there? Star Trek Discovery had a little trailer. There was a new Blair Witch movie announced. We had the final trailer for Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah.
So we had quite a bit shown to us, but what were some of the winners and losers? So Brian, what do you think? What was a winner in your book?
Definitely Wonder Woman. That was probably the one that stood out the most to me. The trailer was well done. The movie looks well done. It looks like it has a lot of depth. It's gritty. It's got action. It's got mystery. Wonder Woman all around.
Yeah, I agree. Wonder Woman is definitely a winner in my book. You pretty much touched on all of it. It looks fantastic. I don't know. I don't know what else to say about it. It's just the trailer was one of the best trailers that I've seen in a while, and it's showing DC is moving in the right direction. They
How long?
They understand they screwed up a bit with BVS, but with Suicide Squad coming out in a week, and now Wonder Woman coming out next year, they definitely are moving in the right direction.
It might be more adult-oriented.
Well,
That's what it seemed like to me.
That's kind of how DC has been. I mean, take a look at Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman. It definitely is more adult-oriented than Marvel films are.
Didn't have all those bright colors like Marvel uses to draw you in.
It's true.
It was definitely darker.
It's not a bad thing. I mean, you don't want to do everything the same. I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
Everybody wants. Why do you want the same? Why do people want DC to do exactly what Marvel's doing?
Because Marvel's doing a damn good job.
Okay.
That's why.
And they're doing a good job doing what they're doing. So let somebody else try something different.
I think DC is taking the right path on this one.
Yeah.
They figured it out. Like, you know what? Let Marvel do Marvel. We're DC.
Yeah.
We got our own.
I agree. I agree.
What do you think?
I watched a little bit of the Wonder Woman trailer. I mean, it looks great. The graphics look amazing. I never was really big into DC, so for me, it's kind of like, it's just another movie to me. Maybe because I don't know the characters that well. I mean, I grew up watching a little bit of Wonder Woman and Batman, like the animated series and stuff like that, but I was never really hooked on it. I mean, I watched Sailor Moon, for Christ's sake.
See, I think the big problem that people are having is kind of like you. They don't know the characters that well because we haven't had movies. We haven't had 8 years of movies building up to these things. So I think that's the biggest roadblock that DC has right now is competing with. Okay, look, we're just introducing these characters, sort of. I mean, these characters have been out for years in comics and in cartoons,
Right.
But to the film audiences, they're just introducing them now. So that's their biggest roadblock. But I think this trailer definitely did what it needed to do.
Yeah, and as the years go by, they will start picking up more fans from just, off the street kind of. Like Marvel, I feel like they always had that fan base since the first Iron Man, because you're like, oh my god, Iron Man, that's a pretty well-known character, plus it's Robert Downey Jr.
Well, actually, back then, when the first Iron Man movie came out, Iron Man was known to the comic fans, but anybody who wasn't into comics did not know who Iron Man was.
True.
And they were actually surprised. Everybody was surprised that they picked Iron Man as their first movie as Marvel Studios.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I'm happy with it. I mean, I saw the movie when it came out, and I was happy. And I think DC's going in the right direction with everything as well. It's just, I don't know the characters. Like, it's going to take me a while to actually want to sit down and watch their movies. Like, I've seen all the 3 Batman movies that came out the last, 6 years?
you're talking about the Nolan trilogy, okay?
Yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah, they call it the Nolan verse.
Again, I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, I haven't watched the new Man of Steel or anything like that. I'll get to it one day, maybe. If Marvel doesn't take over my soul. It already has.
I'm going to go with a loser here for Comic-Con, and I'm going to say Star Trek Discovery. I don't know. The short little teaser they showed looked like crap. It really did. It just, I did not like the way it looked. I'm not interested in that TV show at all. Then to find out that it's not even going to be on TV. It's going to be on CBS's streaming service that you have to pay for. So, honestly, I think it's a big lose for Comic-Con. Personally,
I think they'll lose a lot of fans. I think a lot of Star Trek fans will just be like, yeah, I'm not even going to bother with this if I have to pay for it just to watch this.
I don't know. What do you think, Brian? I know you've been kind of excited for it.
I didn't really see too much. Are we talking about Discovery here?
Yeah,
I was looking up some
Discovery.
Dark Horse comics.
Yeah,
But the Discovery, they didn't really show too much. They just showed that, hey, it's another ship. It looks like it's an early version of the ship. Like it's after Enterprise. It's like the next gen. New captain, obviously. New crew, new adventures, more saga. Like, it's Star Trek. You can't go wrong with Star Trek. If you're a Star Trek fan, you're going to like Star Trek Discovery.
Possibly. I'm a Star Trek fan. I mean, I was a huge fan of the Next Generation. Loved it. I used to, whenever I would stay home sick from school, that's what I watched.
They had all the technology and everything. Like, everything was already there. They had everything.
Yeah.
With these, like, Enterprise, they didn't have the teleportation. They didn't have the holodeck. They didn't have all the proton torpedoes and all that stuff. And they show you how they come across it. They meet different aliens, and they get the different technology because they do something that helps them out. Like, and then we're gonna move on in the world with Discovery, and we're gonna meet more aliens and get newer technology and better engines. Like Star Trek Enterprise, it didn't even have like a warp 10 engine. The warp drives weren't even that fast. They can only go up to like warp 5 or 6 or whatever it was. So it was definitely a progression. They added different angles.
You definitely know more of it
even
than I
more
do.
inexperienced because they don't have the history of all the past captains to help them guide their way, so they have to go into it head first. Like even Spock and all his people, like they weren't. They didn't have all their stuff figured out yet. Like, they weren't all logical and stuff. They didn't have the mind meld and all that, like...
Okay.
I know nothing about Star Trek.
The Star Trek people are loving me right now.
Alright, and Rachel, do you have a winner for Comic-Con?
That's tough. But I'm going to have to say Doctor Strange, because I am just so hyped up for it right now. I am ready and waiting. And then also Captain Marvel, I'm pretty excited for that as well, because Marvel doesn't really have any, I don't think they have any actually at all, just female standalone superhero films.
No.
So
DC's beating them to the punch there.
Well, actually, I was reading somewhere where they said that Black Widow was supposed to have a movie way back, in the early 2000s, and then they just kind of was like, we'll just, do this instead.
They were always talking of it. There's always been talk about it, and I know Josh Whedon has been like, I'll direct one if they ever make one, but I don't think they've ever actually, we'll do it.
I believe that they started a script for it back then, and then they just kind of was like, meh, which I think they just need to do it. I really do. A Black Widow film would be amazing. Because I want to know what happened in Budapest.
Yeah.
Still want
to. But Captain Marvel, I agree, was definitely a big moment for Marvel. Probably their biggest moment of the night, and something that everybody was hoping that would happen, and everybody's been wanting to have happen for quite some time, was the casting announcement for Captain Marvel. So, Brie Larson, she's beautiful. She's a good actress, Academy Award-winning actress, so it should definitely be interesting with her there. Absolutely. Anything to add to that, Brian?
No.
Okay.
But I do think DC should open up a different front with, like, Dark Horse Comics and bring to life more Judge Dredd, stuff like that, more Alien vs. Predator. Totally.
Wasn't they saying that they were going to make a second Dredd movie?
Well,
they're talking about it.
There's been talk about possibly making a Netflix series.
They said that money was an issue.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome. Because I really enjoyed the one movie that we got a few years ago.
With Carl Urban.
Yeah, I actually like that.
Let's see. Another loser of Comic-Con. The new Blair Witch.
Yeah.
Nobody's asking for it.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody cares.
Nobody wants a sequel to a movie that was meh back in 1999.
It'd be a good Halloween time movie.
Possibly.
You want to go see a horror movie or something, you go see Blair Witch.
Yeah, let's go see Blair Witch.
You want to go hang out with your girlfriend in your car or whatever, go to the drive-in, see some Blair Witch, don't even watch it and just make out, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was anything anybody was asking for. It doesn't interest me really at all. I don't know. I just think it's...
I didn't even like the original one.
Not many people did. We were talking about it last week, where a lot of people got motion sickness from that movie.
Yeah.
Because it was the shaky cam, the found footage film. It was one of the first... that started that whole revolution of found footage films, and just it just didn't do too well then. I mean, it was big because it was different, and I think it was big because people at first thought it was real. But once everybody realized that it wasn't, then it was just
yeah, they sold it as like some phony real movie. Like, I thought it was real, and then I found that it was fake. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Come on.
Now we're going to go with a winner here. I'm going to say the new Sonic game that was announced last weekend was pretty big. The fact that it's the 25th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog, so the fact that they're going back and getting back to the roots of Sonic the Hedgehog, I think is huge. Absolutely huge. And the fact that, they're just, it's 2D again. All those games that they tried to make that weren't 2D, that were 3D, just were terrible.
I kind of like the Sonic 3D that was on just the Sega. That one was kind of fun.
That one wasn't too bad. I will give you that. That one was all right.
And like Sonic Spinball.
It wasn't really 3D though. It was just
it was like
sprite animations.
You were looking. Yeah. It was like top-down view, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
I liked it. It was fun, but
it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Let's see. Another loser. And Brian's going to hate me for this one. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
No way.
I think it's a loser. Personally, I do.
Wait, isn't that the new Harry Potter, spin-off movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Fuck you. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, come on, man. What are you talking about?
In my eyes, it's a loser for the...
With
for
the
the
trailer itself, or
Yeah,
the movie's
yeah.
going to be a
Not the...
loser?
Hey,
I thought the trailer was
The
amazing.
trailer,
Yeah,
like I
it's just
said,
like-
the trailer just leaves something to be desired. Like, it's just missing something. I don't know what it's missing.
Point. It's supposed to like
that's-
leave you with that thing of like, what is it? Like,
No,
what?
a trailer's
Like,
supposed to
there's
get you
something about it.
excited. It's not supposed to make you...
It got me
That's-
excited.
That's why I hated the first Doctor Strange trailer, because I watched and I was like, this didn't tell me anything. Like, it's pointless. It's not exciting. Now, I can get that with a teaser trailer. I understand that you do that. It's a little tease. But this is, I believe, the final trailer for this movie, and it's still just... I don't know. I'm going to see the movie. I just don't think that this was the best trailer that they probably could have put out there.
Did you enjoy the Harry Potter films?
Yes.
Okay, then
Except
shut
for the
up.
last one. I hate how it ended.
Just shut up. Just walk away. Just walk away before you get hit.
Honestly, I hate how it ended.
I don't care.
Just saying. Jeez.
I don't care.
I'm allowed to have that opinion.
No, you're not.
My God.
You're doing a podcast with me. You can't have an opinion because I'm always right.
Oh, okay. I see how it is. All right. Winner, DC as a whole. I do think DC was probably had the best panel, only because they dove in and they were willing to show their fans everything that they could. The fact that they showed a Justice League trailer when it just started filming 2.5 months ago, if that long ago, is huge. And they're also saying, hey, look, we know we screwed up, so here's a little glimpse into how we're fixing things.
Right.
So I think that was huge for them. Anybody else on that?
I mean, I would like to see it because I remember watching Justice League, the cartoon, as a kid, so I feel like maybe it might bring back some memories, but we'll see.
And yet you have no knowledge of who Wonder Woman is?
That's what I said earlier. I said, like, I've seen, the Justice League, so I kind of grew up on the, the cartoons a little bit, but, like, the new characters and stuff like that, some of the actors I just don't know, and, for me, it's going to be weird because I've always been on the Marvel side of things and probably always will be.
Probably.
Yeah.
And this is why my next statement is going to get you really pissed off.
Don't say it.
One of my losers is Marvel as a whole.
Fuck you.
While Marvel did well with capitalizing on showing Captain Marvel and unveiling who's going to be playing Captain Marvel, I think as a whole their panel was not very well received. Not well received.
No one cares
not,
what you think.
Here's how I look at DC and Marvel. They're both bikes, right? Mm-hmm. And Marvel's like, well, my bike has sparkly tassels on the handlebars.
Yes, it does. The good kind, not the bad kind.
That's what it's like. It's just like we got all this other shiny stuff.
Here's the
for
thing.
everybody to look at.
Go ahead, Bob, because I know you're going to say something.
Yes.
It's going to make me mad even more.
Marvel, this Comic-Con, Marvel unveiled a new title card. People were supposed to get excited about it. It's cool looking, it's nice, but it's not that big of a deal. Besides that, they showed a teaser for the Defenders, which was cool, a trailer for Luke Cage, which was cool. Mm-hmm. But after that, if you weren't at Comic-Con, you almost got no information. And I think that's not right to do to your fans. Because there are thousands and thousands of fans that would love to be at Comic-Con that either don't have the money, don't have the way to get there, something like that. And I think that DC did it right because every single thing they showed and talked about at Comic-Con, they threw up online. They allowed to be posted.
I think there's
out there.
pros and cons to both of those sides. Whether, you want to be there but you can't, and then your favorite panel doesn't show everything. Like, yes, I would have loved to have been at Comic-Con. 1, I don't have the money. 2, I don't have the time to go. So, for me, okay, so I'm not going to get everything right away, but I understand why, because I've been to conventions before. I know how it is. So I understand why they give the people who go to conventions more, because they pay that money. There's people that come from all over the world
they get
to go
their
to Comic-Con.
swag, they get their little bags that say Doctor Strange on it, or their little dolls. I mean, come on.
But to get like exclusive, you can only see here material is pretty awesome.
My Comic-Con dolly.
I got my Doctor Strange pillowcase.
Here's the thing, though.
Shirtless. He's half naked, and I like it.
They need to evolve a little bit. They need to evolve. I understand, yes, you can show things that are specific to Comic-Con for the fans there. But the problem is, they're sitting there talking, like Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That's a huge movie that's coming out next year,
yes.
and people are so excited. I'm excited about it. I just actually watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2 the other day, or the first one, not 2. What? Guardians of the Galaxy the other day. And it's such a great movie, so I'm very excited for the second one. However, nothing was officially talked about outside of Comic-Con about the movie. Yeah, we know from rumors and from inside sources that, they announced who's going to be Kurt Russell's character. And there was also some footage shown there, but we didn't get to see any of it. I think they need to evolve and say, okay, look, we're going to show stuff for the fans at Comic-Con, but let's also release stuff for the public who cannot be here. Whether it's the same or not the same, I think they need to do that just to appease the fans that can't make it. And I think and this isn't just Marvel, Disney as a whole does this. They did it 2 weeks ago at their Star Wars Celebration. They show a trailer for the new Star Wars Rogue One and don't release it online, don't show anybody. Not only that, but they tease that they're going to show new footage on a program, and then they don't show the trailer that everybody thought it was going to be, and it just pisses people off. And that's not how Disney needs to be handling this stuff. They really need to be more open to everybody. Like, I get it. When you go to these events, yeah, it's supposed to be special, supposed to be fun. You're supposed to get something that you wouldn't get elsewhere. But you can't forget about the fans and the people who aren't there, who can't make it. I think that's just they need to evolve in some way.
I couldn't make it, and I'm not sad about it. Shit happens. Get over it.
DC
and I'm a huge Marvel fan.
Again, it's not just against DC and Marvel in this case, because they're not the only two that do that. Like I said, Star Wars did it. But I don't know. I just think... And last year, DC did it with Suicide Squad. They got really pissed off because there was a leaked copy of the trailer they showed for Suicide Squad that got out there, and it was only supposed to be for Comic-Con, and it got leaked, and they got pissed off. And I think
that's stupid to release trailers just for Comic-Con.
It is.
It's dumb. I mean, like, it should be, you get your exclusive look, but everybody else gets to look at it later on.
Exactly. Do it like that. Again,
and they will do it.
Evolve a little bit, don't I don't know, like, we're not going to see that Guardians of the Galaxy footage. I can guarantee it. We're not going to see it. Not that I really want to at this point, because I've read everything online about it, but still.
Maybe they just want people to read more, because kids don't read nowadays.
Just let the press get their first look, let them write their stuff.
Exactly.
Let them pimp it out,
because
and then
honestly,
show us
the press field is dying nowadays. It really is.
I guess so.
So you gotta do something.
Let's see. What else was there?
I'm not crying about it.
Let's see. What else kind of went on at Comic-Con? Any other winners or losers for you guys? A big winner, Lego Batman movie. That just looks hilarious. Again, I know, Brian, you agree with me.
Yeah, that was phenomenal.
I don't know. I didn't like the first Lego movie.
Life doesn't have a seatbelt.
I like how the Batcave has like every single Batmobile that there ever was. That was really cool.
I love how Robin ripped his pants off and showed him his ass.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Who's the voice actor? Is Zach Galifianakis?
Zach Galifianakis is gonna be the Joker.
Robin.
No,
is
the
the Joker?
Yeah.
Who's Robin?
Michael Cera.
And who's Batman?
Batman is what's his name? He was just in a Ninja Turtle movie. Oh, what the hell's his name?
I can see his face.
I can see his face too.
With like the
Google.
stop and everything on his face.
Google.
I can't feel my face when I'm with you. Sorry, we're talking about faces.
I gotta
Oh,
Google
like
this.
that.
I'm googling it too. I can't. Will Arnett.
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett.
I don't even know any of these newer voice actors.
Will Arnett's not a voice actor.
I don't know who
He's
Will Arnett
an
is.
actor.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
He's like legit, yo. Hollywood said, "What's up?"
Let's see, another... I mean, I guess you can kind of put this in the winner side of things, was the Walking Dead trailer. Not so much for me.
Oh man,
I know a lot of people were excited about it.
I feel like a zombie just.
I
talking
don't know.
about
I
Walking
just...
Dead.
I can't get back into Walking Dead. I'm getting so annoyed with the series. I can't do it no more. I feel like they're just stringing us along anymore.
Where would you throw King Arthur, Brian?
I don't think it really belongs in this other catalog of great movies. I think it's just going to be like one of those
do you think
movies that are just like a summer thriller kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
just
but I love those
something
kind of
fun to
movies.
watch in the summer. You ain't got nothing else to see. You saw everything else, and it'll be there for you to watch.
Yeah.
When you want to go to the movies, and I just like King Arthur. Really, I like the lore. I like the myth. That's the only reason why I wanted to bring that movie up.
I mean, I think it's going to be good because, like, I love movies that are set in that time, especially, like, because we have Game of Thrones and stuff like that happening, so it's going to be nice.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. If you're not too into CGI, you might not enjoy it because it's going to have a lot of CGI.
Yeah.
It's just going to be one of those movies.
Yeah. Definitely. Let's see. Kong Skull Island.
Oh, dude.
Tittles!
I think it's going to be good.
I think it's going to be good.
Just because Samuel Jackson's in it.
And Tittles.
That's it. He's going to make that whole movie.
And Tittles.
And for those that are, real and call actors by their real name, she's talking about Tom Hiddleston. So, or also known as Mrs. Taylor Swift, or Mr. Taylor Swift. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
come on, don't even. Come on, I'm already disgusted with that.
Legion, the new X-Men TV show that's going to be on FX. I'd say that's kind of in the winning side of things.
Do you think Legion will rival Sci-Fi's Magicians? Do you think it's going to be like that?
I don't know. The trailer doesn't give away too much, but I don't know much about the Magician show. I've seen some, commercials here and there.
It's like
for
Harry
it.
Potter, but with like drugs and alcohol and sex.
Oh, okay. Might have to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I've heard
You
it's
gotta
really
watch
good.
it.
I don't know. I don't know if it'll rival anything or rival something like that. I don't know. I don't think it's that kind of show.
Well, they better make it like that. We're going to be talking bad about it. Nah.
Besides that, I mean, that was pretty much it.
I think Legion's going to be exciting. Just that little bit that they showed, it had me hooked already. So I'm looking forward to it. I will make time to watch that show.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's X-Men. I like X-Men. Even though X-Men movies were terrible,
Yeah, I agree.
I still like X-Men. I don't care. Like, I'm loyal to the brand. What can I say?
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. I don't know. I'm excited for it because I think they'll be able to expand on the story more than the movies ever did. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, we're not going to get our Wolverines and Cyclopses and stuff like that. It's going to be lesser known characters, but I still think it's cool because they're going to be able to expand on the story. So
Right.
that should be
I
exciting.
think it's time for the underdog to come out and bite. All right. Delete that.
Nope.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't have anything else to go over from Comic-Con at all. I think we covered everything that's winners and losers and such. Anything else from any of you? Either of you? Anyone?
Yeah,
Anyone?
I think we're good.
Well, real quick here before we get out of here, because I know those who've actually sat here and listened to this entire show, you're true fans, and thank you for listening.
You're a brave soul.
But I'm going to do a little shout out here to a podcast I found actually earlier today. It's called Abstract Thoughts. You can reach Sadie, who is the host of the show, on Twitter at Sadie Maddox. That's Sadie, SADIE MADDIX for Maddox. She just has a very level head on her. She's a young girl who talks about just random current things that are going on in the world. And it's just very interesting. Her podcasts are pretty short, from 15, 20 minutes to 30 minutes. Definitely give her a listen and give her, some attention, because she does a pretty good job there. So definitely listen to her. From that, though, you can reach us on Twitter at The Remote Control. But again, whenever you type that in, you got to remove the O at the end there. So at the THE or EMOTE Control CONTRL. You can also
lost me at the O. What happened?
You got to remove.
Just get us in the details below, damn it.
Yeah, I'll get into details below. You can reach me at R. Slavinsky. You can also reach us on Facebook at our... I can't even think right now. This is the greatest closing ever.
Man.
You can reach us at CS Podcast Radio on Facebook as well as Twitter. You can also subscribe to us on YouTube right down at the bottom there, as well as on iTunes. Hey, Brian, how can they reach you?
On Twitter, Brian_Keppel, Kepple. You'll know it's me when it's a hashtag, all caps, far side, ! That's me.
And Rachel, how can I get you?
I don't exist. They can't. Sorry.
You don't exist.
No, it's Ray Razorblade. That's what it is.
At Ray Razorblade.
Yeah, I think
How do you spell that?
Or was there an underscore? I don't remember.
I don't know. Details will be at the bottom.
Yeah, just link it below.
Also,
hashtag I don't know my own
sad
URL
enthusiasm.
thing. I don't know it. I use Twitter, but I check it maybe 3-4 times a week, and that's it.
All right, so if you're trying to reach her, reach out to me, and I'll get a hold of her for you.
Yeah.
Definitely check out on our YouTube channel.
He's my filter.
Check out on our YouTube channel. I did a few reaction and review videos for some of the new trailers that came out last week. I will be adding some more as time goes on here, and hopefully get Rachel in on some of those, as well as anybody else who wants to. So check those out on our YouTube channel. That is at it is CS Podcast Radio or Common Sense Podcast Radio. You can find us. But I think that's all. So I think after that horrible closing there, I guess we should probably get out of here. So this has been Robert, Rachel, and Brian of The Remote Control, and we hope to see you back here next week. Have